Hi, I'm Jessica Reeves. This is my EDL 853 Module 1 video. A little bit about me, my personal demographics. I grew up in a small rural community in a ranching family. We actually raised a small flock of sheep that we bred and then sent to the slaughterhouse. Um, with a long history of educators and supporting education, education was always put at the forefront in my family. It was always known that school comes first, and that's that. That's how life is. I graduated from Kansas State University in 2014 with a Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Education. Through the study abroad program at K-State, I was able to go over to Australia for a semester and study agriculture and just their culture over there, which is super awesome. And it pops up in my time hop every now and then. I'm like, oh, I kind of miss it. Um, my high school ag teacher helped me to see my true potential and push me out of my comfort zone. And he's actually how I realized I wanted to be in ag ed. Like my freshman year of high school, I wouldn't talk to anybody unless they were my best friend. Like even if a teacher would ask me a question, I'd be so nervous to answer just because I was so self-conscious and that wasn't something I was comfortable with. And he really helped me see that I could do those things, and he pushed me to do different activities and stuff that helped me discover who I was. My educational demographics. I am the ag instructor and FFA advisor at Hoxie High School. I just completed my third year teaching ag. I just finished my second year at Hoxie. I teach a range of classes from hunter safety education, animal science, plant science, mechanics, ag welding, among others. Pretty much anything that's in the ag pathways they can ask me to teach, and we'll do it. Um, Last year we had 95 students in 9 through 12, and our FFA program, we had 57 of those students enrolled in ag classes in FFA, so we're batting over 50%, which is awesome. Our FFA has a greenhouse that we utilize for class purposes, as well as we have an annual spring plant sale that the students are in charge of. They plant, they decide what we're going to sell, they make the flyers and do all the advertising, and then when we're at the sale, they're in charge of being the people in charge. Like they're running around helping customers, and it's really cool to see. Hoxie is a small rural school with most of the students have an interest or a background in agriculture. So for me as the ag teacher, that's awesome because I tend to grab a lot of those kids. Critical reflection of our special ed. We're fortunate we have great paraprofessionals at our school. Like they're amazing. Unfortunately, we don't have enough of them to go around. I feel like a lot of schools have that issue with funding right now. For example, I've never had a para in my classroom, except for like last year I had a para for one day, and that was just a rarity because the student that para was normally with was gone that day. So they just came to my room for somewhere to go. So I'm not used to having paras in my room, and I'm okay. I'm accustomed to that, and I've changed my teaching or modified for it. Our IEP meetings, we get a paper asking for how they're doing academically and socially, which I think is good because social is a big part of school for especially kids on IEPs. And so I always try to make sure we fill those out. My personal critique, I teach hands-on materials, which for a lot of kids on IEPs is more beneficial to them because it's not reading a book and trying to see it in their head. They can see it. Like it's right there. Most of my coursework is done in class time. I know I'm an elective. I'm realistic about that. And I try to make it so that if they do the work, they will get done in time for class. If they're messing around, that's your problem. I try to group by varied skill levels and knowledge. We do tend to do a lot of group work. One, just to cut down on materials, especially as we do a lot of hands-on stuff. So, for instance, teaching ag, you may have a kid who has helped his dad or whoever rewire a ceiling fan or something, and we're working on electricity. And you may have a kid who's just like, yep, I've plugged something in, that's my knowledge of electricity. So I try to vary those so that they can peer teach each other and really work together and learn from each other as well. When we do tests, I try to modify them as needed. I don't really do a lot of formal testing just because I am an elective project-based class. I think doing a final project is just as valid as giving a final exam. Show me a project where you learned what you were supposed to get out of this unit. My plan for proposal: attend as many IEP meetings as possible. This past year, we had a new special ed director, um, and I couldn't attend a single IEP meeting because they were all during class time. Like, I didn't make it to a single one. I try to when I can, but I'm not gonna skip my class just to go to an IEP meeting. I fill out the paperwork so parents and special ed team can see how they interact in a non-traditional classroom. I feel like that's a good vantage point for them to see, especially as I'm career in tech ed, and a lot of these kids are probably going to go into technical or just straight into careers. Um, Continue to provide students with hands-on learning opportunities. Just, that's the avenue of my teaching, so I don't see that changing. And it helps students see just because they may have trouble reading or in English, they still have valid career options, and school doesn't have to be painful for them. Like, for example, maybe they should try a job interview, and because as long as you know what you're talking about and it's an area they like, they can really blossom there, and that's really cool to see. So those are my plans. I don't know, like I said, I don't know much about special ed. I'm a young teacher, and being an elective in a school with not many paras to go around, I just don't have the knowledge of it. So I'm looking forward to learning that and sharing with this class.